Hi there, this is Tracy. Today I want to talk about narcissists and cheating. I hear all the time, people are always asking if they're cheating. And we have to look at their personality traits and get a deep understanding of how they relate to the cheating aspect. Because a narcissist is selfish, they're entitled, they're very self-focused, right? They only care about themselves. They don't necessarily even care about their children except to be used as pawns in a cover of some fake life that they're leading. So a narcissist generally is so selfish that they don't make really good sexual partners. They're demanding to what they want to do. It's their time, it's their schedule, and they're very often over-sexualed that their needs are not being met with one partner, even though they pretend that they are to that partner. When you get involved with a narcissist, of course you're not knowing it's a narcissist, but when you get involved with someone that it just seems too good to be true, there's a very good chance that it isn't true. You thought that they loved you, and you thought that everybody thought you were the perfect couple. So how could he cheat? This was the answer to your prayers. This is your soulmate. This is the man of your dream of a fairy tale. It's Prince Charming, for God's sake. How could you think that Prince Charming, he's with me all the time. He's never with someone else. Well, that isn't always true. And depending on how skilled your narcissist is in this cheating arena, they may have spent decades hiding what they've done. And it's generally not just with one other person, as we may find out about that person, right? In my case, I found out about 3 at the same time. And that's all we knew about. I think that this person just had them everywhere, every city. Did he lock his phone? Do you not have the password? If they've got the password to your phone and you don't have the password to their phone, maybe it's their work phone, they say, right? My ex-husband always had a work phone, but how would I know if this was his personal phone and this was really a business phone? Couldn't this be a fake second number and the real business phone is number 3? Or maybe he doesn't even need to carry it. They play so many tricks, and everything will be hidden. You won't see another phone bill. You won't see dinner expenses. They're very stealth at this, but what you will start to see is hints and things that make you suspicious. They hit you in your gut. You feel it. You feel icky. And when you feel icky and you suspect them, what kind of proof do you need that he's still cheating? Let's say you found out he cheated and he swore that he would never do it again, and he, hoovered back in, and what more proof do you need? Phone down. That he's cheating. I had a friend, I'm not going to say where she lived, but she put a tracking device on her boyfriend's car. And then after having a phone conversation and them both saying, oh, they're tired, he was going to go to bed, she watched the app. She watched him leave the house after their call and go off to a restaurant, and she followed him there. It was not a good thing. Why do we need to torture ourselves to prove? Isn't it enough that they cheated once? Did you cheat once? No, that's a perfectly normal thing. We don't. The reason we were victims and we were, a really good supply to them is because we took their stuff. We took their shit. We took the abuse and we had no boundaries. So as soon as they know that you have boundaries, like, okay, here's a really good example. You know they cheated on you. They hoovered you back. And then you said, I'll give it another chance. Because they promise not to cheat again. It was an accident. They didn't mean it. Oh, we were naive, and we're not the only ones, but they are skilled and they lie. So lying and cheating go together. Do you see that? Lying, cheating, it's like, whoa. So we have to start to look at other things. And that is a boundary that if my husband, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my anything cheats on me, what's my boundary? It's okay, you get 1 shot, 2 shots maybe. The average person goes back to a narcissist 8 times. And that's not necessarily cheating, but I would wonder where those numbers came from, because a lot of them cheat, and that would be a really good reason to break up with them, right? I have a story about 2X and this woman that he supposedly had been in a relationship with before me, and to my knowledge he got her pregnant and his parents made them give up the baby and break up. This is the power of crazy, right? Whether it's a true story or not, this is just the story I was told. And so if it's, not a true story, I can only report on my knowledge as I heard it and what I was told. And so this person, when we first got married, he said he needed to buy her a new mattress. And he sent her $2,000 out of our checking account. And I thought that was like really bizarre. And if this person was truly his friend now, why couldn't I talk to him? I'd met other friends, his high school friend that was a girl, and I met her. And when you meet someone, then they're not a threat. If they keep them hidden, there's a reason. There is a reason why they're hiding them. And this person would call him on his birthday, and usually like holidays, the phone would ring and her phone number, her name would come up on his screen. And I was like, well, why can't I talk to her? Why can't I say hi? Have her over for dinner, for God's sake. Just And he never would. There was even a time when we were away on vacation, and it was my birthday, and the phone rang. We are like in the middle of the freaking ocean, and this girl is calling him. And he just, oops, sorry, and he stopped the call. And it has occurred to me now that that might have been his cover name for whoever the slut was that he was sleeping with. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. The person that he might have been sleeping with, he just put their phone number in under her name because he'd sort of like set the boundaries with that name. And that name, he sort of said, you can't do anything about this name. I'm not going to share you with her. She's my ex and all of this stuff. But think about that. Isn't that triangulation? Why didn't I know it, right? The weirdest part, and I'm going to be done in a second, was one time we were on vacation with 6 friends in Disney, and we were walking around Epcot, and the girls were sitting outside and the boys went into a store, and one of the husbands came running out to the wife and said, oh, she's in there. Oh my goodness, she's in there with her mother and her brother. And my ex-husband came flying out and ran to, like, if you've ever been to Epcot, 2 whole countries further than where we were all sitting. And we're texting him like, where the hell are you? And it was such, he's like, I didn't want her to see me. I've gained a lot of weight. I think that real girl was there because the friend's husband knew. They knew them before. So all of a sudden, the real thing, like now I might come face to face, and now I might learn that name on the phone wasn't ever real. And all those late night calls and texts to work and all of this bullshit was really just covering up this fake person. And we have to really think about these things. We saw signs. I did. I just chose to ignore it, and I chose to not have boundaries. This is not acceptable. I don't care if you have friends from your past. I think that's great. But now we're a couple. We should be friends together. That makes sense. The idea that you can't, know the other person, these are signs. These are signs, and we need to stop this cycle on ourselves and stop saying, well, how do you know he's a narcissist? And maybe, what should I do? Should I chase him? Should I stalk him? Should I hire a PI? If you know, you make the decision right now. What are your boundaries? Because if you know about one, there's probably 4 that you don't know about. So this is Tracy. Be careful out there. Watch for the signs. Texts, late night calls, phones going off, and hidden things. Watch for the signs, because narcissists almost always cheat. They're not satisfied. No one can satisfy them because they're not human. This is Tracy. That's all I got.